Today's 7/21/2022, and we are going to review Aapl. So let's take a look at Aapl here. All right. So this is, I'm starting with the monthly chart, and let's do this. As you guys can see, Aapl is a very, very strong stock. So we're going to take a look at the overall strength of Aapl. Now, as you can see here, Aapl has a bullish flag on the monthly. So overall, Appl's very, very bullish. And there is this level here that we picked back up at, which was 134 prior to this month starting, because we opened up down here. You can see this support area was very strong. And why is this support area so strong? This support area is so strong because it was held here as resistance prior to the break. And this level, this support level, has been held quite a while. So let's take a look at how long it's been held. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 months. So this support area has been held for 13 months. So once we came, after we hit that high of 182.94, of course, we've been having all of this selling recently. We came back down, we touched this support area, and you can see that this is a pretty tough demand zone. And we know that very strong demand zone can typically have automated orders sitting with institutional money. So you can see this big move happening this month here with Aapl. So this is a pretty tough area here on the monthly chart. So we know this is the support area here on the monthly. So let's take a look at the weekly now. All right. So you can see here they're above the 200 MA because they are strong. They're very strong, right? They're holding this support level here. And they had a few good weeks. Now, of course, what we do know about stocks is that in order to keep running, we have to pull back in order to create patterns, right? So right now we are here on the daily. This is the 200-day moving average. If you guys are familiar with the 200 MA, you know that it could be used as support or resistance. So right now the 200 MA is being used as resistance. So this could be a rejection area for Aapl right now, but just rejection on the lower time frames, because of course, patterns have to be created. Like that's just the nature of how stocks operate. So this could be an area where we do pull back. I mean, we have a lot of money flow. We're pointing up. We're at about 74 on the slow RSI, not completely, overbought yet. So there is a lot more room for Aapl to continue to run. But let's take a look at like the 4 hour. Okay, that's the 4 hour. So yeah, lower time frames are overbought. I was telling my group this morning that the volume is so strong right now, we could potentially push through this moving, this 200-day moving average, or we could create a bullish flag. If we create a bullish flag, then probably what will happen is we'll probably range with Aapl before a breakout occurs above this 200-day moving average. But looking at the strength of Aapl right now, that could be possible. So if we range here on the daily and we create this this bullish flag here, and let me make sure this is the effective level, I would say probably more right here. Right there. So let's remove this one and let's bring this down a little bit. So what could happen with Aapl at this point right now is it could range in this area. So we know that this is resistance here, and this is the 200-day moving average. So resistance is 1.15, I'd say approximately like 154-ish. Support now is about 149.92, right? And this was a tough area that they just recently broke through, because you can see here that prior it was resistance. They couldn't break. They got up here, rejected, came all the way back down here. Also, when they fell through this 150-ish area. They tried to break above, and it was again resistance, couldn't break, fell through. So this, we're looking at the daily chart. So you could see like 1, 2, 3, this is several weeks. Several weeks they've been trying to break this level. Several weeks they've been trying to break this level. And if you take, like if you just ignore this area and this area, you can see that we've been trending between 149 and 136 for several weeks. And finally, we just broke out. So this 150-ish, 149 area is gonna more than likely be tested as new support now. Rejection on this 200 MA and a retest of 149, 150 as new support, because again, it was resistance. So what could happen with Aapl, which is very, very probable because you see they created this pole, you know, with all of this movement lately, right? So this area here, this area that we just broke now is new support, right? And of course, we have our resistance here at this 200 MA. So even if we trend and we consolidate between this support at 149 and this resistance at 154, we're still in bullish territory. We're going to be creating, you know, a flag here on the daily. So trending in between these areas is, you know, is very probable. What I do see is I see massive amount of strength in equities right now. So could we break this a lot sooner? Possibly. So if we end up trending, you know, going in between this flag in order to create patterns to keep running, and we have a breakout, then, you know, of course, our next area would probably be around there of resistance if we break out of this flag here. And then we'd be back above the 200 MA on the daily, which is very good signs for even more forward momentum going forward. So that's kind of what I see with Aapl, a lot of bullish movement right now. And with the monthly, with it hitting that support level and having this massive move here this month is showing me that there's a lot of buyers here. So buyers are in control at this point, but of course, pullbacks are going to happen. So we have to anticipate these pullbacks. So right now, what I'm anticipating, what would make the most sense is that we reject this 200 MA on the daily here at Aapl, and we come back and test this new level 149.82 as new support. And we could possibly, you know, continue to trend right here in between these levels here of the 150. Sorry, guys, my drawings are not all that great here, but we could continue to trend between this 150 as support and this resistance of about 154. So about, you know, $4 to $5 move in between these levels, possibly, you know, for the next couple of days, depending on the strength. If the strength is crazy, because I'm seeing a lot of strength in equities, to be honest, a lot of bullish momentum with SPY, QQQ, a lot of the ETFs have like, you know, an extreme amount of volume based on those patterns from what I see, taking off at the demand zone for SPY around like the 360-ish area, which is the 200 MA, that's the support area. On the monthly or the weekly chart, and they've kind of been taken off from there. So I do see a lot of bullish momentum in the equities. And if you go back to, you know, a couple of my other videos, you can kind of see, you know, the analysis on QQQ, SPY, and SQQQ. So you can kind of see where we're at from there. But we're talking about Aapl right now. So with Aapl trending between these two levels is a high probability. But I do think that they're going to hold this area because they've been fighting to push through it for several weeks now. So now that we've officially got through it and we hit the 200 MA, what would be a good sign is that we come back down, test this 150 as new support, and kind of keep trending in between this area until we have another breakout on Aapl. So that would be, you know, ideal for Aapl. So it's good to just keep watching to see. I mean, of course, we've been having all this selling movement lately. So, you know, of course, if this pattern doesn't hold, it's not, you know, oh my God, I'm surprised that it broke through and it's fallen back, you know. But the fact that we've been trying to break this resistance level for a couple of weeks now, we finally got through it. That's a good sign for more forward momentum. We are at the 200 MA, it's holding as resistance, so rejection is highly probable. So rejection here and coming down and testing this new support is probably where we're going to go with Aapl going forward. But hopefully this helped you guys out with an idea of where Aapl is going to go in the future or in the near future.